Hello there, welcome back to the book set Completionist. My name is Tom. We're at episode 17. Oh yeah. Today I'm revealing this beautiful trilogy and I'm reviewing a classic, a modern classic. You saw it in the thumbnail. Okay. This trilogy takes place in the same area as the book that I'm reviewing. It even has some overlapping themes. So there's the first clue. Now, 3 parts written in 2005, 2015, and 2019. This book is about drugs. It's about a war on drugs and anything that goes on in that war, the players, the people. Oh, I haven't read the books yet, so I don't really know. I like not to spoil myself. So my knowledge on this is pretty basic, other than that it was written by Don Winslow, and that it's called the Cartel Trilogy. And here are the individual pieces of that set. The Power of the Dog is part 1, then followed by the Cartel, and the Border is the final part. Pretty cool. Let's take a closer look. The first part is The Power of the Dog. What can we say about this? The Power of the Dog throws shadows a mile long, fearless, humane, aesthetically fervent. It's also passionate, unapologetic, gorgeously written, and unquestionably authentic. Wow. Well, if that isn't a ringing endorsement, I don't know what is. What's my mouse doing here? Go away. This takes place in Mexico, most part. Now, this is something odd. I bought this book secondhand, and there was a photograph of what seems to be an American soldier in it. What? Don't know where that came from. I hope he's still alright. Number 2 is the Cartel. Same kind of livery, the same design. This book does contain a map, but it's just a map of Mexico. And this paperback format is not really suitable for putting a map in here. It's quite hard to open that up pretty well. So you can just imagine the map of Mexico is fine. And that has some annoying glare. Go away, glare. And then finally, we've got the border. There, that same map again. Just Mexico. So there you go, the whole set. Modern crime, mystery, thriller. Go away, glare. And there it is, No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy, written in 2005. It takes place in the 1980s. It's about a guy who finds a lot of money in a drug deal gone wrong, and he takes the money, but whenever you take someone else's money, the original owners do not really appreciate that. And so, well, what happens next is that he gets chased by this massive psychopath killer. Yeah, that's the premise. Now, this has been adapted into a very famous movie, one that I really, really love. If you read this after watching that movie, which is iconic to say the least, in my opinion, this doesn't really add all that much to the movie experience. I would say that the movie is much better. The acting in that movie and the actors is just, well, on a different level. Remember, if you've seen it, Javier Bardem. He plays Anton Chigurh, the main psycho killer in this book. And he does it in such an amazing way that, okay, that helps. Both helps reading the book because you already know, you have some idea who the characters are and what they look like. But it also takes away some of the novelty of this novel. This book has a lot of dialogue in it, and that just works better on screen to me. Also, the dialogue, again, this is Cormac McCarthy's style. If you've read other works of his, you'll notice some similarities in the way that he writes, that the dialogue does not contain any quotation marks, that it's even unclear who is speaking at some points, and that you really have to pay close attention to what's going on. His writing style is, well, let's say non-standard, and his characters speak non-standard English. And yeah, it requires a bit of, but very focused reading to catch on to the story. Although it's not a very complicated story, it's just a guy who gets chased by some weirdo. But this weirdo has some very, well, peculiar ideals. Um, he's very intent on keeping promises that he makes, even though these promises may be arbitrary. He just, whenever he feels he has to do something, he will do it no matter the cost. Yeah. So that's good. I recommend to read the book first if you haven't seen the movie yet, and then later do watch that movie. The movie is really amazing. But to me, yeah, it was just a little bit all right. Again, watching the movie has spoiled that for me a bit, although it's been like 15 years since I saw that movie. It's still a good book, but I've watched some other reviews on YouTube, and they're really gushing, fawning. Not to say anything negative about other people's experiences, but well, it's just all right. Not spectacular or extraordinary. It's fine. It's a good book, but not to the level like the best novel ever, best Western ever. People call it. I don't agree with that. I do recommend it, but well, it's just one of those good books. Good books, not amazing books to me. Another thing I want to say is that besides these two main characters, the snatcher of the money and the guy who's going after him, there's an elderly police guy who is trying to sort of catch up with the both of them, not really succeeding at that. And he feels very behind the times. He is a guy of an older generation. He doesn't have a lot of professional background other than it. He became a sheriff for, well, just because it was available, and he has become, and he just rolled into that job, and that wasn't easy for him. And he feels that the times are changing, that people's interactions with each other are changing, that people's motivations, everything is changing, and he just doesn't feel he can do it anymore, and he intends to quit his job. Talks about it to his wife, and you get this part of the book is him just deliberating his future, which doesn't, to me, really strike, which I cannot really relate to. I'm not that old yet, but maybe for an older reader, you can sort of feel his pain, his disconnect with everything around him, and then to have to chase these crazy people who shoot each other up is just so different from what he is used to. And okay, that's fine. But it sort of feels a little bit like an old man complaining, and that's what the title refers to. No Country for Old Men. This takes place in America. That country just has changed so much that an old person doesn't feel at home anymore, and he would just run away from it all and just let them kill each other. That kind of sentiment, right? Just let the world pass me by. Let me just relax and retire. I don't need this shit anymore. And that is that's part of the book too. So overall, good book, but the movie was better. Okay, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.